Welcome to the Color Me Home. We're here in Palm Springs where each room is decorated in a monochromatic color and has its own theme.
She's from New York and now in Palm Springs. Wow. Watch Courtney build the colorful world of her dreams. And color me spaces, color me spaces.
Welcome to the entryway of our home. I wanted this space to connect everything else we have going on in the home. So instead of doing just one color, we did quite a few. The biggest change we made was painting this wall and bringing in pinks, greens, yellows, oranges, and a bit of blues. It kind of serves as a map for the house. We added this piece from Gray Malin, which was actually on display in our New York apartment. Next to the breeze block lamp, we have an orange vase to kind of lead you into the yellow-orange area, and we have some candy, which gives you a little bit of foreshadowing to the candy bar that you find in the kitchen. Plant is always a good idea. It can help like fill a corner and add just kind of more hominess to a space. We did this wall in a two-tone, so it has like a mint and an aqua, and it connects to our last mirror standing. So when we originally got this house, this wall, all of these walls were covered in mirrors, and we took them down on each corner, but decided to keep one just as a slight homage. So we did 3 of these wicker lights. They aren't supposed to go together, but I like that we have like circles and squares and kind of different shapes that really tell the story of the home while bringing it all together, but also make kind of for a fun moment. Down here, we have this storage piece. I think it pairs so nicely with this wavy rug that we added. We also have this kind of sunset wall that we created for our kitchen dining space that you would obviously see when you walk in. So hopefully they feel connected, but not copy paste. You've made it to the dining room. I'm so excited to show you around. So we did a whole sunset inspired design here with lots of pinks, oranges, and a little bit of yellow. This space is connected to 2 other rooms in the house. This took a lot of work to get right, but I love how it turned out. I think the color totally pops and works really well with the wallpaper. I layered some yellow and even orange pillows. I like that this one has like this scallop detail. I really wanted to play with shape in this space, so everything is either like circular or really square, just to kind of create some juxtaposition. If you step out of the dining room and into the conversation pit, we have a whole new color to explore. So this area is small but mighty. I feel like conversation pits are just quintessentially Palm Springs. There's not a lot going on in this room, but you do see the key themes from the dining nook kind of sprinkled here as well. We also kept the palm design going on here with the fan and a little bit of gold. There's one more thing you have to see. Step right up to the main attraction. Can you believe Paris didn't want to buy this?
That's not true.
That's 100% true. I'm a big Disney fan, and I always take a photo on the teacups when I go. So when the opportunity presented itself to have this in my home, I had to do it. When you're designing your own space, I would encourage you to lean into the things that make you you. You've seen where we eat, you've seen where we chat, and now you've seen where we spin, but there is one more area of this space, and this kind of is gonna bring all of the color schemes we have going on together. And there you have it, our pink dining space and our orange conversation nook. Yellow from the yellow kitchen. I can't wait to show you around. Everything in this space is connected to our pink dining room and our orange conversation pit. And those kind of do a sunset theme. So we really wanted to lean into that and bring the sun in this space with the color yellow. When we first moved into the house, they had these really cool chairs that connected to this island. And what I loved about them is that they actually swivel. But they had this like kind of dated 90s design, so we switched it out for yellow velvet. Another place that we made an update is this island. It was originally black granite and we switched it out for a white quartzite. We also got a new sink, new fixture, and kind of everything new up on this area. One cool thing though that we did add for our fixture is the touchless, what's it called?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, the touchless faucet. Hidden behind here, out of sight, we have 2 dishwashers, which are probably the only new appliance that we added here to the kitchen. Plus there's like a ton of storage and cabinet space. One thing that I would eventually like to upgrade in this kitchen is the fridge. This fridge is what, 20 years old? 30 years old? It's older than me. That's not true, I'm older than 30. Our microwave and our ovens here are silver, and I have a bone to pick with this microwave because I guess the previous owners of this home were giants, because why would you put a microwave up so high? Because we have this kind of open design that you can see through, we painted that back wall yellow so that it would kind of bring more color into the kitchen. I did design a little DIY candy bar, and I say DIY in the loosest of senses because really all I did was buy some jars and put some candy in it. And then we would have to walk over to the coffee bar where you'll have our yellow espresso machine as well as our little electric tea kettle. After you've gotten your caffeine fix to kind of wake you up, let me show you where we can go to be a little bit more productive. Past our second sink, we'll bring you over to the desk area. So this is where we added a little bit of wallpaper and this amazing art piece by Shag. Our computer is yellow, our headphones are pink, and then all of the accessories over here are either yellow, orange, or pink. In front of the desk, our curved island continues to create another kind of like weird offset area. So naturally, we added a giant wicker banana. Right next to it is our I think this is our 7th yellow appliance. This is a little like slushy machine, and I like that it's not entirely yellow. It has some reds, some like corals to kind of tie back to the sunset scheme. And that rounds you out in the kitchen, bringing you to the teacup chair, which is also connected to the orange conversation pit and the pink dining room. But we have a few more rooms in this house to explore, so come on. Welcome to the purple bedroom. Come on in. So the theme of this room is power, and I wanted to create like a spacey space. So we combine the passion of purple with the whimsy of the color to create something that's out of this world. One of my favorite parts of this room is this wallpaper. We did this kind of mod 60s print, which is also when the whole space race thing was going on, so it kind of ties into the theme perfectly while also being true to Palm Springs. For the bed, we did purple velvet with a little bit of silver on top. I also mixed in more velvet throughout the bedding with pillows and blankets just to kind of give it that rich textured feel. Over here we have our silver nightstands and our beautiful purple and blue rug. I like that this brought 2 different colors into the space.
This lamp is giving Sputnik vibes.
That was kind of the inspiration. I decided to do gold for the lamps and kind of mix it up a bit.
The other light looks like a planet. I don't know if you plan it or not. But
I did kind of plan it to look like a planet. This was actually Trent's, and then we wanted to keep it here in this room just kind of as one of a few homages to him we have going on here. And over here in this corner, we have another light. It's also gold, but it doesn't match because I thought it'd be fun to kind of do mix match lights. We also have kind of a mix match curtain situation going on. Of course, it's velvet. Everything in this room is velvet. Over here in this corner, we used this existing brown build-in and gave it a new life with a little bit of wallpaper. Then filled it with so many purple odds and ends to make it really pop because I love styling a bookcase. Right next to the build-in, we kept this full body mirror, which was actually a holdover from the original space and is hiding a closet. And then over here, the last area of this room is this desk that kind of defies gravity because it's floating here on the wall. I thought having brown would kind of ground it and make it feel a little more homey and not too hotel, if you know what I mean. And this purple room ended up being the perfect place to hang What a Wonderful World. This is a really special art piece that was made by my mom's best friend Rita, and she painted this of me when I was like 11 or 12. She just wanted to capture that time in a girl's life where you're presented to the world. Things made me feel a little bit more magical, so she painted me as a fairy in my little ballerina outfit sitting on the world, and she called it What a Wonderful World. This purple bedroom is actually connected to our pink bathroom. Welcome to our pink bathroom. Come on in. In here, we're playing with all different shades of pink, but we had to start by grounding it in white. So we did this white countertop and a white sink so that all of our pinks would really pop against it. One of the first things we did into this space is paint our existing vanity. We didn't need to replace it, just give it a fresh coat of paint and some new hardware. This isn't normal wallpaper, this is grass cloth, so it has a little bit of texture. I chose this wallpaper because it has both light and dark pink tones in it, which allowed me to split the space. In this first room, I did more of a hot pink, and in the next room behind me, a lighter pink tone. We also completely covered the doors in wallpaper, which I think is kind of fun and a little bit unexpected. The mirror was maintained from when we bought the house, so that was unchanged, but we did switch out the light fixture because it was just kind of ugly before. So this is the room where the shower and the toilet actually live, and we did a little bit of a lighter color palette here, but still wanted to keep it cohesive with the other room. On the walls, we did a very light pink. It's almost even white, it's so light. We're all about turning up the drama in this room, so instead of a shower curtain, I did 2 window coverings. These are like normal window coverings for your windows, but because I did 2 here and separated them, you can open it like this for a little bit of drama. I might get in trouble for this, but I pulled out the original tile in this bathroom and replaced it with this fun pink hexagon tile because again, that kind of breaks up the monochromaticness of this room. A few more romantic details you'll find in this room. I love this kind of whimsical art style paired with this oversized glamorous frame. Also did some pink and floral towels, again, bringing those 2 tones into this space. We even wanted our bath mats to be a little bit unexpected, so I found this one with a scallop detail and again, those 2-tone colors, and just laid them all around the room. To tie into some of the themes of beauty and femininity that I wanted to put in this space, I found this piece at a vintage market and made sure to hang it here too. So now that you've seen the bathroom, I need to know, would you feel pretty in pink getting ready here? There's more color coming right up, but first, are you ready for the guest bedroom? This space has lived a few lives, but first, she was red. Since we both work from home, we definitely needed an office space in our house, but it's nice to have the flexibility of converting this to a bedroom if we have guests in town or someone coming to visit. This is a great place to take calls or just get some work done away from everything else. So now that we have this gorgeous office and bedroom, we're actually gonna turn it into a nursery. Welcome to the nursery. So this room is a combination of wallpaper and paint. The wallpaper was really tricky because wallpaper panels are only a certain size, but I wanted really big stripes that were too big for a repeat of wallpaper. So I actually had to design 2 different wallpapers. After we laid the wallpaper out all around the room, then we had to do a custom paint to match. We had to match the color perfectly and have it all come together. It would have been easier to just wallpaper the ceiling, but because I wanted it to create that tinted effect, all the stripes had to start really big and then get really small as they section in to the light. There are also a lot of other fun things on the shelf. I wanted to bring some different elements and textures like wood and felt into the room because they just make it feel more like cozy and homey and perfect for a baby. On this last bit of the bookshelf, you'll find more books, especially some written by Joy. And right next to it, we have this little clothing rack where I've displayed some of like my favorite of his outfits. Like we have the Color Me Baby jacket. Of course, we got a little custom cerulean sweater. And over here, once I decided on the color scheme and theme for this room, I knew I wanted a yellow chair. This was the only one I could find. It's kind of a custom, like they have a bunch of colors that you could pick from. There's a little side table here and it's kind of gold rings for like 3-ring Circus. Let's go past the Murphy bed that we could pull down when guests come to visit. Here is another little storage area, more books, and some more wood Montessori toys just to kind of round out the rest of the room. Welcome back to the Circus. Step right up and I'll show you what we've changed. So this room has become more about play than sleep, so we moved the crib out to have more room for activities. But activities mean potential for like head bonks, so one of the first things we did was switch out the rug. The room is obviously filled with books because the whole thing is a giant bookcase, but Cerulean can't reach those books. And now that he's really into reading or having us read him a story, we wanted to create a little mini library for him. So over here, we removed the changing table and just did some rearranging in this space. Since Cerulean is still too little to reach for toys in the bookcase, we wanted to give him something that he could have access access to. So this little rotating case is where we store some of his toys, some stuffies, things that he could just reach for. After spending like over a year with this space, I really love having this bookcase. It's so nice to have all of the toys on display. Still have a lot of photos, including this really special one that was taken by my friends at White Rabbit. Thanks for coming to see the circus, but we have some more rooms to see, so let's head on out. Hey cutie, you made it to our orange bathroom. Come on in. This is the smallest room in our house, but I wanted to give it big impact. So I covered every single wall in wallpaper, but not normal wallpaper, gold metallic wallpaper. We pulled out the existing vanity and replaced it with this freestanding one. This vanity came with silver pulls and we couldn't have that, so we switched them out for gold. And I like that it has this little shelf space because it allows us to put some towels on display. I like repeating things between rooms, but doing them in slightly different colors and styles. So this rug is the same that we saw in the pink room, but here in orange. That same print you saw on the towels, we found it in a trash can, and this one's completely gold, totally glam, and just kind of brings the room together. Did these gold features like this gold light and the gold mirror. Instead of treating gold like a hardware color in here, it really is part of the color palette, so you'll see it sprinkled everywhere. The lights behind me have this kind of bubble effect in there that make it extra sparkly, which I just think is so fun. Believe it or not, this shower was actually smaller before, so we extended the ceiling height a little bit and then did these glass doors to just make it feel more open, more spacious, because it is kind of a cozy corner. One of the only existing things from the previous bathroom is the toilet. We didn't touch it. It just stayed the same. It's a toilet. It doesn't need elevated. Over here in this corner, we did add a little bit of art, some vases, a few elements that could add a little whimsy to your world. That's our orange bathroom. Not bad for a bathroom on a budget, right? Welcome to the living room. Step on in and let's take a look. So we're here in our sunken living room, and these were really common in like mid-century modern design. I really wanted to celebrate kind of the retro style of this, but still find a way to make it modern and comfortable and find that perfect balance between the two. One of the biggest hero moments of this room isn't actually green, it's white. We got this giant modular sofa to kind of fill the whole sunken space here. This wall was originally covered in mirrors, floor to ceiling, and we took it off, added the paint, added some art, added some molding. I also wanted to balance out with some more glam touches, and that's where we used gold. And this Jonathan Adler chandelier I've wanted for like 20 years. We wanted to keep the gold going, so I paired back to it with this brass coffee table in kind of like an unnatural shape. But there's one other place to sit in this space. We have this nice little emerald chair that kind of separates you out from the rest of the sofa. Sitting in our green sunken living room, you have direct access to that orange conversation pit. And over here, we have a little entertainment area. We thought about painting it at some point, but as we had so much green going on, I liked that this had like a more natural tie with the wood. It also has a mirror here, which is another nod to the mirror walls. They will continue to haunt us even long after they're gone. But over here, I have to show you our original 1969 stone fireplace that I didn't destroy, even though I was a little tempted at a time. This gallery wall is a little bit of a work in progress. The elephant's gonna stay, the TV's gotta go, but other than that, I'm not quite sure where it will end up. I just wanted to have it completed for now, but she will evolve. Our fireplace kind of connects you to this wall where we did our big wallpaper moment. It also is going to give you access to the front door, but if you walk along here, we have one more kind of vignette in the space. And this one, we tried to make it a little bit more musical. And I love that the record player we picked feels vintage, glamorous, and a good balance of all the things that we're trying to achieve in this room. Oh, look. Our giraffe. So the last thing I wanted to show you in this space is our giant wicker giraffe. And the green palm we see here kind of connects us to the pink palms you see in the dining room. But there's more color and surprises just around the corner. So why so blue? You've made it to the bedroom. Come on in. When you walk in, you're blasted with blue. We painted the doors on these wardrobes, the ceilings, and all the walls this really pretty kind of cloudy sky blue color. This room had a pretty wide layout, so we wanted to build something that added value and gave us a little bit more storage. Decided to do this build-in that has 2 wardrobes for Paris, as well as bookshelves and something that can serve as an entertainment area. But the real star of this bedroom is actually the bed. We did this gold canopy bed with like a dark blue velvet moment, which is a really like rich, luxurious vibe, but I still think it matches back to the theme. This wall, like every other wall in our house, was completely covered in floor-to-ceiling mirrors, so one of the first things we had to do was remove that. So I found these moldings that you could put on. We painted them first and then put them on to create this like big pattern moment. We bought these nightstands secondhand and they were just a little dull and gray, so we decided to give them a little bit of a facelift with some color and pattern. Because we did these ourselves, we were able to pick the colors to match back perfectly to the wall. We kind of did an inverse, but decided to give them a little bit of pop with this gold here. If you step on down into the drop down, you see what used to be our glass block. But now she's totally transformed. Here in the drop down, we have even more blues, some more teals, and more Jonathan Adler. It's kind of an odd area, but we tried to make the most of it by using it as both like a conversation pit and a functioning desk. We have a similar drop down going on in the other side of the house, but we wanted this one to have a totally different effect. I love gold, so you'll see it sprinkled throughout this room, but specifically here in the drop down with our gold light, gold table legs, gold legs on the chair, and this gold lamp. And that's our blue bedroom. I hope all the cool blues had a calming effect on you. You've made it to the 80s. This bathroom is a total time capsule, so come take a look. Our first stop is the His and Her vanity, where we designed around this existing granite countertop and green sink. This circle tower was one of the reasons I bought this home, so I'm so glad she got to be seen and celebrated here, and even elevated a bit with some gold hardware. And my vanity over here is maybe a little bit more pink than Paris's. I really wanted this to be a juxtaposition between the 2 colors. I decided to fill this long wall with this rounded vanity, and I like that it kind of matches back to our tower. And you might notice here that you're starting to see a sprinkle of yellow that we're scattering throughout the room. We drenched this space in mint to help it feel cozy and nostalgic, but also added some pops of pink for a little bit of glam. We took out the ceiling fan and added this pink chandelier, which instantly kind of sets the mood for this room. We also added a little bit of coral with this bath mat. And I like that we're playing with textures here, where the floor is thin and fine and the mat is nice and fluffy.
What are you doing up there?
I'm getting into the bathtub. We kept it green, but I actually don't hate it now. It's kind of cute. Is that crazy? Because I really couldn't stand this tub before. We switched out the pillow to be something striped and then added a few more accessories just to kind of fill up the space. Moving on to the shower. So we had this gold frame to work with. And here we made very few changes, starting with this fixture that we swapped out. We updated with this one, which is a little bit chunkier.
Is that magnetic?
Yeah, it's magnetic. For our last corner of the bathroom, we have this amazing art piece that Rita made. This one's called Bliss, and it just matches the color scheme perfectly. Down below, we have some towels. We did a coral and green combo, bringing in some more stripes. And then I got this hamper. I didn't even realize that it would match our paint color perfectly. I hope you enjoyed the 80s, but let's jet back to the future. Welcome to the closet. So when you first walk in, you're greeted by the warm wall, and this is where the things I wear the most maybe live, because I wear a lot of warm tones. And here, there's a secret feature. Ooh, this little bar pulls out so that as I'm building outfits, I can hang things here. Over here, we have a little corner that has some more shoes, a few bags up top. I have all of my hats and some headbands. And then here I have some scarves. This is a little display area where right now it just has some hats and some purses. We built in these jewelry drawers This one has sunglasses and some jewelry here. Then next door we have the purses. So we have some more colorful options here. Then we kind of start with reds, oranges, yellows, move all the way down. And right next door we have my colorful dresses. So these are the pieces that are too many colors to fit in the color coordinated section. Right up above we have colorful belts. We passed by the door we came in for our final corner. This is the cool corner. So we have some greens, some blues, and some purples. Oh, and we have one more surprise. This mirror that pops out, it actually turns all the way so that I could be standing on the other side of my closet and see myself here. It's just like a really nice secret feature. But what do you think? I would love to know what you thought of this whole closet renovation.
And now that you've seen my closet, let's step outside.
Welcome to the backyard. Come on. The pool is really the centerpiece of our backyard. We have different specific spaces which each has its own vibe and of course its own color. The first thing I want to show you in our backyard is the pink section. We have a little picnic table for cerulean. Over here we have a little seating area that's all bistro themed. It's right off of our pink and purple room, so it just made sense to kind of go with a pink scheme. Over here we have this little play area with this splash pad that Cerulean's obviously a fan of. You know by now that I love a game, so we did this outdoor game area with these two cornholes that we painted, a few colorful mallets, some balls, and all of the spools? I don't even know what they're called. We have our first of many lounge areas. Here we did 2 striped yellow chaise lounges and just kind of decorated them with a little bit of orange, a little bit of yellow for kind of like a bright, bold citrus feel. Oh, hello. This might be one of my favorite parts of the backyard. Underneath our white pergola, we had a white dining table, but decided to make it pop with a little bit of color. So orange, you glad we did these orange striped drapes? This table kind of serves as a blank canvas, and it's actually adjustable, so we can make it bigger or smaller depending on how many people we have over. And down below, we did an orange striped rug that kind of pairs back to some of those same tones we did up top. Our warm tones continue over here next to the spa, where we did a little yellow striped moment. There's not a lot of real estate going on over here, so we could have left it blank, but we wanted every corner of this backyard to be beautiful, and I think we achieved it. We have one more yellow striped moment that I think you'll really like. Who's ready for movie night? We have an outdoor movie screen. So this is inflatable, it just blows up. This is obviously just for a special occasion, so let's take this down because there's more to see. We're approaching the end of our tour, but don't be blue because there's one more area to show you. Over here, we created a nice serene blue area that all kind of centered around this circle sofa and kind of helps mirror all the circle themes we have going on inside the home. We added a bunch of different accent pillows just to kind of pop it up. We added these all across the back, and they're not really functional because we do have curtains on the other side of this wall, but more for kind of fun and display and to create this resort-like feeling. I think having outdoor rugs is just a really nice hack to make things look a little bit more elevated. And this one kind of brings in some of those aqua tones that we have sprinkled around the rest of the space, and it just looks really good. Last thing that we added was this pool gate just to keep everyone safe. So that concludes our tour of the backyard. And now that you've seen every inch of our Color Me home, I would love to know which one is your favorite. But until then, I gotta go. I'm gonna get in that pool. See you later. Bye.